Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going over the new Sigma Cor-De-Rosa palette. I had to add a little zhuzh. You guys know I can be extra sometimes. Anywho, this is a palette that I was actually going to skip on because the brand's promo pics just weren't that interesting to me. I thought it was pretty, but just not something that really drew me in. What did though was all these people on Instagram posting pictures that they took of the palette, and then Glitzy Fritzy Mary, she's a friend of mine, she's here on YouTube. She had a video of the swatches on her hand on Instagram. I'm gonna link her down below. I'm gonna link her YouTube as well as her Instagram. And I saw the swatches on her hand. I was like, oh, that's what it looks like. And I got interested in it. And I had several of you tell me that you were interested in seeing it. So I picked it up. Today, I just did one look because honestly, you guys, I'm doing so many eye looks. And I have 3 other palettes that I already know that I have looks to do with. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to use a lot of shades on my eyes, and hold on, let me count. Let me see how many I used. I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I used half of the palette, so I feel like I got a good feeling for this. I can tell you guys how I feel about it and just kind of do a first impressions instead of 3 looks. I know that you guys like that, and I like that, but it's just not today. Not today. I'm a little tired. But anywho, let me go ahead and give you guys the details, the swatches, and then we will get into this eye look, followed by my thoughts on how it performed. On the outside of the palette, you see Cor-De-Rosa, Sigma, and you have all these beautiful roses. All the shade names are on the back, and then on the inside, you have the mirror, and then these are the beautiful shades that you have, as well as this brush. I don't have a lot of experience with Sigma brushes, so I couldn't tell you like how this is compared to their brushes that are already out there. But on this dual-ended brush, it feels really nice in your hand, but you get the E38, which is a diffused crease brush, and then the E54, a medium sweeper. So that is really nice. And then here are the swatches for the palette. Bella the Ball, Elegant Beige Shimmer, Veranda, I'm sorry, Malted Milk Matte, Sun Sprite, Bright Marigold Shimmer, Damask, Soft Pomegranate Matte, Shakespeare, Dramatic Maroon Matte, Apricot, Muted Honey Matte, High Society, Vibrant Marmalade Metallic, Bare Root, Dark Umber Matte, Hybrid, a Pinky Orange Matte, Medallion, Russet Brown Matte, Campfire, Warm Sandstone Metallic, Dark Night, Warm Maroon Metallic, Summer Song, Burnt Orange Matte, and then Cor-De-Rosa, Earthy Rose Matte. The palette with the dual-sided brush retails for $49. However, I got a discount code from Glitzy Fritzy Mary, and it was 30% off. So I'm going to leave that down below as well. So if you guys want a discount code, if you're going to be purchasing this palette, picking it up, you can use that as well. And that took off $14.70. Hold on, let me see. Yes, so it made it $34.30. So just under $35 for a palette with a dual-sided brush on the inside. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this look, and then I will give you guys my thoughts. Zoeva 227 and Apricot, starting on the outer corner first, and then into the crease. This has a lot of pigmentation to it, which is nice. I'm going to start blending this upward to use as my transition shade. Same brush, but now I'm going in with Hybrid, directly into the crease with this shade, going back and forth. And then circular motions to blend it out. REPHR 01 and Summer Song. Starting on the outer corner, I am going to add this basically like halfway over the lid and on the outer corner, like I just said, just tapping motions first. Then I'm going to add a little bit more depth into the crease. These are all blending together very nicely. I'm impressed so far. I like that I'm able to add the shades and they're not getting muddy or disappearing. Fluffy side of the brush that comes in with the palette. I'm just going to go around the edges, make sure everything is really nice and blended. Obviously, I don't have anything on this brush. REPHR 14 and Barefoot. I must be really wanting to go outside right now because it is definitely called Bare Root, not Barefoot. I'm placing this on the outer corner, getting that depth. Then I'm lightly bringing it into the crease, not all the way to the inner corner though. Using the excess from my brush, I'm going to smoke out this outer corner. Esom W21 and Dark Night. Applying this to the center of the lid, tapping motions, and then kind of like pressing and swiping motions, and tapping over the dark brown. I'm going to bring it in just a little bit. MAC 242 and Belle of the Ball. I feel like I'm about to die to get my hands on this color. It's so pretty just looking at it in the pan. And it is pretty on the eyes too. I'm using it dry. I'm getting a little bit of fallout, but I'll be able to just blow that away. And also kind of pressing over the last shade we laid down to merge the two. I want this to be a little bit more intense on the very inner corner. Clean MAC 242 and Veranda. I'm going to highlight the brow arch. Sonia G Mini Booster and Hybrid, buffing this all along the lower lash line. REPHR 03 and Summer Song, going closer to the lash line, but still going to buff it out. Back in with that mini booster just to blend. Same brush and Dark Night. I'm applying this wet right up against the lashes, and then I am going to go add on mascara, liner. I might put on lashes, not quite sure just yet, but I'm going to go and finish off this look. To finish off the look, I used Milk Boss liner, as always, to my top inner rim, and then for my lid, I went in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid liner, and I just created just a regular liner, and then I added on Kiss Ritzy lashes. My lips, kitten liner all over with Charlotte Tilbury's Fish Perfect on top. For my thoughts, I gotta say, I'm really happy that I picked this up. I don't think that it's necessarily anything that I don't already have in my collection. So do you need this palette if you have these colors? No, I wanted it. I wanted to play with it. I wanted to try it out. I haven't tried a lot of Sigma stuff, and I kind of want to branch out a little bit this year and try a few more things that I'm not used to, you know, because there's always the palettes that come out and it doesn't matter what colors they are. If it's from a brand that I love, it's like I always get it. So I kind of want to try some other brands. You guys let me know what you would want to see down below and I will look into them. But I'm glad that I picked this up. I'm glad I have it in my collection and I think it works really well. I believe I've only tried one other palette when it comes to Sigma. So I don't have a lot to base it off of. I can't compare this to other things in the line or, you know, other shadows and how they perform against each other. I can, however, tell you how I feel about the formula and how it compares to other shadows that I have tried. And I think that this At least the mattes definitely compare to Anastasia Beverly Hills. That's, and you know, the whole lineup of this definitely gives me Anastasia vibes. The mattes were really pigmented. They blended out very nicely. I didn't feel like I got muddy. I still think I can see all the shades that I put on my eye to create this kind of sunset look. And I love that. I can't stand it when things get too muddy or when I'm trying to put stuff, and I always like to start on the outer corner so that everything is really just nice and seamless. And when you start doing that and they don't want to adhere, they don't want to blend, or they get patchy, I don't like that. And I didn't have that issue, which was phenomenal. And that's one thing I like about, you know, doing a look like I did, was using that many shades and knowing that you can just build and build and build and be able to create really intricate looks, and it's going to work out. I'm really impressed by that. And then the metallics that I used, I like a lot as well. Granted, I didn't use very many, but they seem like, just touching them, they seem like they're going to be pretty consistent. And Belle of the Ball, I really want to try this out wet, but even dry, it's just so pretty. But I think that if I took this and I used it wet, or even like maybe just a sticky base or something more along the lines of glitter glue, it would be really intense. I just think this is so, so pretty. And I love that you have a different range in here. I'm telling you, this right here speaks to me. Just the first 4 in here. That is an everyday look for me. I love those colors, the peachy color, this one up here, and then just something to deepen it up. And then of course, this is my favorite thing in the entire palette. I just think it is so pretty. I like that you can kind of move your hand along and have different looks, and they all work out really well, just like in these quads. They work out really nicely. I know that's something that brands have been doing with their palettes. They're kind of putting them together to where you can create looks, but I enjoy that because it makes it easy for not only me if I'm in a rush, but you know, people look at a palette and they get overwhelmed by so many different shades, because you have purples in here, pinks, and you have these warm orangey tones, the peach, the browns, the maroon. There's just so many different options for things that you could do with this palette. So it's nice to just be able to cover up everything else and go with a quad sometimes, but then you have so much versatility with this palette. I really do like it. I like how it's set up. I like all the colors that they chose. There's really nothing that I would change about it. There really isn't, and I can't say that about many palettes. Fallout wise, I feel like I got the same amount as I typically do, so not bad, not good. It's not like I didn't have any fallout. I baked underneath my eye, so I was able to wipe everything away. This shade definitely had the most fallout. You'll see that when I'm applying it to my inner corner. I'm really happy with it. So if you're gonna ask me if I would suggest it, if you were looking at it and you're wondering if it's a good quality, absolutely. And I definitely suggest using that 30% off, because 34 is definitely better than 49, obviously. And I think it's a good deal that you're getting the palette and the brush as well, because this isn't a brush that feels flimsy or anything like that. The reason why I didn't use it is because Mary actually told me when I went to purchase the palette that when you use it when it's not clean, it's a little, it doesn't feel right. And I meant to clean it last night. I meant to clean it, wash it, and have it, you know, it kind of, usually brushes will kind of spray out a little bit whenever you do that. So I only used it to go over the shadows and blend them out. But I think that this is actually a nice brush, which is more than I can say for a lot of different palettes. It's like they just throw a brush in there and it's not any good. It's nice to have an actual working brush in the palette, and I will keep you guys updated. I will wash this, I will use it, and I will use more shades in the palette. So just first impression wise, I think that this is really beautiful. I'm really happy with it, and I'm really glad that I purchased it. And thank you to Mary so much. I appreciate the discount code, I appreciate the information, and I really appreciate those swatches. Anywho, I love all of you. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. Let me know if you did by giving me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I do it all the time. But I love you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.